Heyo, homeowners, DIY, and professional landscapers. My name is Hudson, and today I have one really simple question for you. What is your landscape plan for this year? Or do you even have a landscape plan? If not, that's what we're going to talk about today. And this time of year is the perfect time of year to talk about your landscape planning because it's winter, it's the downtime. There's nothing going on. You can't really get out and plant some plants in the frozen ground right now. So this is the time of rest, but it's not a time where you can just sit back and let it go and eventually hope that something will happen with your landscape. No, this is a perfect time to plan out your landscape, to take all those ideas that are sitting in your head and put them on paper so that when it comes time to actually do something in your landscape that you actually can get out and do it while saving yourself stress later on down the road. So I'm going to talk to you today about how that's done or how I would recommend you do it. A little bit about myself if you're new to me or my content. My name is Hudson. I'm a professional landscaper and have been for the last 15 years. All of this time has made me see a couple different areas of the industry, from scrubbing toilets to scrubbing trucks and eventually all the way to landscape designer and crew leader. So if you're wondering what to do with your landscape, I can probably help you out. And speaking of helping you out, I have a step-by-step guide that I'd love to give you. It's literally what I do as a landscape designer in the field. It's what we train all of our people on, and I would love to share that with you. It's a step-by-step guide. You can find it in the link below this video, or I'll put up a QR code in the corner of the video so that you can scan it with your phone, download it, and print it off. And we're going to be talking about the first 3 steps, really the first stage of this 3-step plan for your landscape, which is designing. Designing is I'd say the most important step in the landscape process. Well, not true. It is one of 3 important steps in the landscape process. You first design your landscape, then you install your landscape, and then after that you maintain your landscape. And there is one more step after that, the 4th step, which is enjoying your landscape, and more on that later. Well, hey, more on it now. I think it's really important, if you're going to put all this work into your landscape, to actually take some time and enjoy it. So if you want to have a landscape that you can enjoy, if you are looking forward to that this coming year, then let's talk about designing the landscape of your dreams. Okay, so basically the first step in this series, if you've downloaded my guide, you can turn off the video and just go check that out, follow that. But if you're going to stick around here and hang out with me, hey, I'd love that. So the first thing that we're going to look at is inspiration. A lot of people pop onto online forums, and I see it all the time. They're like, help, I don't know what to do with my landscape. I don't know where to get design inspiration or anything. I post pictures of your garden and your backyard so that I can see them and get inspiration for what I want to do. This is awesome. This is a great idea. You're crowdsourcing your ideas for your landscape in your backyard. Sometimes people will just post photos of their backyard and say, someone please design something for me. I don't know what I'm going to do with this space. And that's all well and good. You can absolutely do that. And maybe someone will have compassion on you and design your landscape for you. But if you want a landscape that you're going to enjoy and that you know is built exactly how you would want it, then designing it yourself is the perfect way to do that. So here is how I would recommend you design your backyard. First of all, get inspiration. You can go online to either online forums and check out the pictures that people have posted. You just filter it by picture and look at what other people have put up there. My favorite website for this is Pinterest. Yeah, I know. It's mostly for wedding boards, and that's all well and good, but I secretly love it. It's a great website, and it's perfect for doing just this, designing your landscape. So just go crazy, pin a whole bunch of stuff. This can be night 1. If it's cold outside and you can't get out in your garden and you're just dreaming about it, go ahead and go crazy. Dream all you want. Make a board that says my future garden or something like that, my future landscape, and pin everything that you see on there that you enjoy or like, because this is going to be inspiration and fuel for your yard and garden. Now, the next phase that we're going to talk about is the design. And design is where we take all of that and we decide what in this inspiration can we actually apply to this landscape. And this one does actually require getting outside. So put on your cold winter clothes and grab yourself a piece of grid paper and a pen and a tape measure. And then what I need you to do is measure the outside of your home and measure every little contour and every little detail. And we're going down to the closest square foot. So every square on the grid paper equals a square on, or a square foot in real life. So just start at the corner of your house and make it go off of the house. That's generally the best way. And then to measure the landscape beds, what you're going to do is you're going to measure straight out from a corner, and you're going to measure along the foundation of the house, and then you're going to measure out at regular intervals, like every 2 feet. You measure out, and you're basically creating a dot to dot that will show you the curvature of your landscape beds as they tie into your house. And I would start with the hardscapes, anything that is permanent, like the house, sidewalks, driveway, etc., and then go to landscape beds, and then go to like trees or things like that. And then what we're going to do on the design phase number 2 is we're going to take the ideas that we put on Pinterest, the inspiration that we have, and we're going to put that and tie that into the actual landscape itself. So considering on where you live, you might have certain plants that do better in your area or worse in your area. For example, I'm in the northern half of the lower 48 states in North America. So there are certain tropical plants that don't do so well in my area. That being said, there are plenty of plants that are going to work just fine. Now, I'm going to want some evergreens because I want some green texture all year round. I don't want my house to just be beautiful for 3/4 of the year, and then on the last, during the winter, it's just dead looking. I don't want that. So what I want to add in is a little bit of greenery, especially around the front of the house, like the front door, and up the front pathway. And then we can get creative with some flowers elsewhere. I'm loving me some hydrangeas. I'm loving some boxwoods, just classic stuff. And then we're going to get down into perennials and the smaller stuff. I'm going to add some salvia for a little purple color, and then some Max Fry geraniums also for that purple color, but like those things do so well and bloom for so long that I want those in my garden. So we're going to go with the purple theme. Maybe some irises if you've got more of a wet area or a wetland spot or a place that stays more moist. I know this is very true of a lot of places in Ohio, or if you live in Louisiana. Irises are going to grow really well in those moister areas. Now that you have all of your plants chosen, the kinds that you're going to use, go ahead and space them out on your plan and just say, all right, we're going to do 3 here, 4 there, and we're going to put this here and that there. Generally for trees, you're going to want to give yourself a 6-foot radius on those because you want to plan for those trees to grow up. You want a 15-year horizon on your landscape. That means if you cut everything out of your landscape today and planted new, in 15 years you'd have to do that again. So that is generally what landscapers and landscape designers work with if they're putting in a new landscape or designing a new landscape for you. So just consider that when you're doing your landscape. Now, when you're giving yourself this 15-year horizon, you're planning for space of your plants in regards to your house. Now, your landscape should frame the house, not be the main attraction. So what you want to do is not plant a tree right next to the house. It's not the main attraction. You want a tree a little off the house and giving it enough room so that that tree can grow up and mature over time. If it's a smaller tree, say a dwarf Japanese maple, then you can plant it closer to the house. I would say no closer than 6 feet though, because those puppies do grow up and they can grow up to be gorgeous. If you were planting an arborvitae, then I would not plant it any closer than 6 feet to the house. Those 2 trees are the closest I would plant anything that is tree form as close to the house. Yeah, I wouldn't plant anything else tree form closer than that. Shrubs, you can plant up to 3 feet off the house because they're going to grow at least 3 feet in diameter. This is true of boxwoods, of hydrangeas, of spirea, etc. So those things are going to get larger, 3 to 4 feet in diameter and about 3 to 4 feet tall, depending on the variety that you get. And then your perennials, you're working with probably a 2-foot spacing on these. And then ground covers, I would go 16 inches or so. 2 feet to 16 inches for ground covers. So lay out your plan, put it on your design, and then that's going to roll right over into step 3 of the landscaping process, which is the preparation. And this is basically just counting the cost and making sure that you can afford the landscape that you're putting in. If you're a DIYer, this is going to be great for you. You can actually save a ton of costs on the labor and probably on the materials, depending on who you know or where you're shopping, because you're the one sourcing all of that for yourself. So if you're a DIY landscaper, this is a great way to save a buck on your landscape. But you got to make sure that you take the step and actually get out your calculator, add up what everything's going to cost so that you're not surprised by anything down the road. All right, so what we're going to do is measure our square footage of bed space, and then we're going to divide that square footage by 110. This is going to give us how much compost I would recommend as a landscaper to refresh the soil in your beds and give your plants something to work with, some nutrients and minerals to pull from. And then you're going to take that same square footage of the bed and divide it by 180, and this will give you the amount of yardage of mulch that you're going to want to use. Now, generally, you're going to end up with a little more compost yardage than mulch yardage, so just be aware of that. And once you've got all of that, once you've got your plants figured out and counted up, and you know how much those are going to cost, you know how much your compost is going to cost, and you know how much your mulch is going to cost, then it's just a question of like delivery and logistics. And generally, I find that you can get most places that supply these things to actually bring them to your home and deliver them for just a little extra charge. So count that into the cost, and then just make sure that you have enough Saturdays or free time off set aside to actually put your plan into practice. And hey presto, there you go. So if you are building a landscape this year, I want to hear all about it in the comments section. Let me know what you are planning to build this year. Oh, make sure that you get your free copy of my step-by-step landscape plan to save yourself time, stress, and money on your landscape, because who doesn't want more or less of those things, and to spend more time with your family, have less stress in your relationships, and have more money to bolster your bank account and spend more of that money not on landscape or on something else, but like on your friends and family. So if you want to have a great experience with your landscape, and next time at the barbecue, just point out to your friends and be like, yeah, I put that in myself, then pick up that guide, follow the steps, and put in your dream landscape. So thanks for joining me. If you have a landscape design or you found this helpful, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you're watching somewhere where it doesn't have a thumbs up, then let me know in the comments below what you thought was helpful, and more importantly, what you would like to hear about next. I know just a little bit about the landscaping world, and I would love to help you out. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.